CARS4. The cars in Radiator Springs were resting from their doings. Lightning Mcqueen was out and about visiting someplace not far from the town. He wasn't in a pub on a hill. He wasn't in Mater's game spot. He found a road. Which led him to a next town. With a railway yard. "This is new," said McQueen. "A railway in the next town, not far from Radiator Springs. I'll bet this will be my favorite place to go to." "Oh, no one must know about it, though. It's a surprise." Just as he was about to look around the railway yard, he saw Mater, who was looking for him. "Hey, McQueen, what have you found?" said he. "It's a railway yard, Mater." "It wasn't noticed from me," said McQueen. "Oh, this must be the line to the mine station where there's a cave. It's a tourist place, but there's shops at the end," said Mater. "Plus, there's something mysterious about that cave." "What's so mysterious about the cave?" asked McQueen. "Well, there's a tale that set us before you came to Radiator Springs, after your girlfriend Sally. Long ago, we were sleeping in our homes peacefully. The lights were turned off and all was quiet. I was the last one to sleep, when I heard a faint little toot toot. I woke up wondering where it came from. Was it the ghost light? No. So I got out of my shed and went wandering out to see what the noise can be, playing detective. I began to follow the road going away from Radiator Springs, trying not to wake up my buds." "Is he up to his tricks again?" "I was going a mile till the whistle was not sounding. I don't know if I could stay up this late because my thought was telling me it's just a waste of time. It was as I wandered off the road, I heard the whistle again." "Eh? Oh!" I followed the sound again, not realizing how sleepy I was. The driving took an hour till I came to another town. It was called Whistllington. I felt myself needing to drop, knowing I couldn't go back tired. Oh, damn. I don't think I'd better get home. It's a long way. So where am I going to sleep? In a way to sleep for the rest of the night, I came across a railway yard. It didn't seem busy at this time of the evening, and I found some crates to sleep in. Suddenly, I had my eyes caught from a comma. It was the culprit that whistled. Who is he, mater? Shoot. If I knew who it was, it would be someone of my friend McQueen. The engine was black, or rather, it was more black because all the lights were out in Whistllington, so he didn't get me catching a name. Then I saw him move. Yes, sir, Bob, he was moving towards that cave. But I managed to get something spoken to my ear from him. He said, Whistllington looks good to visit, but it's not my holiday. I've got things to do in Tara. And as I watched, he just vanished after going inside the cave. Well, I was entranced by this discovery. I began to think of telling my friends, but thought better not. No one would believe who I saw except Whistllington. And that's my discovery tale. My word, mater, that's interesting, this tale, said McQueen. But might I just ask about the word? I think I met Thomas once. He told me Tala is a village, part of Tasmania, said mater. And I've been to a bookshop finding a book of a man who visits costume shops. I believe that cave must be magic. Said McQueen. I might find an adventure like Mr. Ben, whom we haven't met an hour ago. What are you thinking, McQueen? I'm to meet the Sensen you saw in this second town. Well done, Buckaroo. You have to let everyone know where you are. Oh, yeah. Especially my girlfriend. She ought to know too. They went back to Radiator Springs. McQueen was waking up to find Whistllington again. The town was still asleep, and so was his motel. If Sally were to wake up now, she'd wonder if McQueen was planning a party. She was sound asleep. Here he left the note, then slipped quietly away, unnoticed. He went on the main road, driving like the lizard on the run to hunt a rabbit. The sky was black, and the moon shone on the road. Sally and I would sure like to hang out in Whistllington. He made a giggle. But there was one thing he forgot about. He remembered his trainer named Cruz. She was his best friend, and she had to time his speed. Now that he thought about it, he realized she would follow him. I don't want her to know about the surprise, thought McQueen. And he went up to speed, hoping to not catch sight of her. Soon he came to Whistllington, found the railway yard, and followed the tracks. It was a very long track, and he found himself far away from Whistllington. But he knew the way. Back in Radiator Springs, Sally was waking up. Hello? What's this? She found the note stuck on her window. Mater, who woke up too, noticed her looking at the clue. He felt worried about the surprise. McQueen told him to keep this a secret, and he promised not to let it out. "I'd better find McQueen," he whispered to himself. Quietly, he too slipped away unnoticed. Cruz came by. "Have you seen McQueen, Sally?" she asked. "No, but I found this note. It's saying he was heading to Whistllington," said Sally. Mater, hearing them, felt more worried and anxious. The town's going to know the surprise." McQueen came to the cave. "This is where the engine went through," he thought. "I might see where he lives." "McQueen! McQueen!" Suddenly, he heard Mater calling his name. The old tow truck came driving into the cave site, puffed out. "What's the matter, Mater?" "Sally and Cruz are going to know about Whistllington, McQueen. I think we forgot to give her a present." "Uh-oh. I didn't know it was her birthday. Is she and Cruz behind you?" "What?" "No, they ain't. That's good. Let's get in this cave. Not too fast. They'll discover too." "You could be right to say so. Here comes your girlfriend." They went in the cave silently, so as not to make too much noise. At the end was a set of buffers. "Oh, look! They must lead us to somewhere." "You go first. I'll follow." "Woo-hoo-hoo! Woo-hoo-hoo!" After going through the buffers, the friends found themselves in a harbour. "Hello," said McQueen. "Where are we?" "I don't know," said Mater. There must be a sign to tell us about this seaside so large." That's our answer." "We're in Devonport." "Oh, so we are. That large boat's telling us something. Spirit of Tasmania. So we're in Tasmania. Now, I remember Thomas telling me we must follow the road to get to Tala. We'll come to Queenstown, then continue on. Oh, you know the way. I'll let you lead. Let's just hope Cruz and Sally don't find us looking for a present. Do you think we can visit Sloping Main? We might. It looks like an adventurous place to be in. Come on, follow the old tow track. So they began to find Tuller. Sally and Cruz came to the railway yard. They found the tracks left from McQueen and Mater. That's where they went, said Sally. So this is where they went in. They must be up to something, said Cruz when they reached the cave. Let's have a look. Aha! I thought the note said something mysterious. These buffers are magic. How can they be? They look normal to me. Oh! No, they don't. They're untouchable. Follow me. Oh! Oh, they've taken her. Oh! Whoa! This isn't familiar. Where are we? Devonport, Cruz. And I see Mater and McQueen on the run. Them on the run? Well, let's follow them. McQueen and Mater had been driving for a very long time, going away from Devonport. They passed many shrubs and trees. Through the woods. And on the main road going through a ghost town. I think we're almost there to Queenstown, said Mater. I haven't seen this town before. It's like our home in America, said McQueen. Spooky. I don't like seeing those empty houses. What about that hotel? That's more empty than the houses put together. Hey, what's that chuffing sound? I don't see something that's making a chuffing sound. Say, look, McQueen, a train track so long. It might be for train, Mater. Let's look both ways before we go on it. Railing again, are we? Oh, I'd like to have a go on the tracks. Gee whiz, look at that hill. We sure can climb it. I'll give you a tow. Okay, but let go when we come to the top. The friends climbed up the hill, but McQueen wasn't sure if it was safe. He remembered a train almost hitting him when he lost Mac. Mater, do you think we should get off? I heard some chuffing. A train must be coming here, McQueen. We'll get off when we get to the top. Phew! We're at the top. What a climb. I hope I wasn't putting on any weight. Hey? Unknowing what was about to happen, both the car and truck heard a toot-toot of a whistle sounding faintly and making a warning. They got off thinking they should continue to go by road. Railing was not for their taste. McQueen was just getting off when he found himself stuck. Help, Mater! I can't get off! Hold on, I'll get out of the way. It's that engine I saw yesterday. Quickly, Mater hooked onto McQueen's front. He pulled hard for a minute till he got him off. A black engine came passing them just in time to not hit McQueen on the tail. Oh dear. Almost getting hit from a train reminds us about Sally's door dented. Rather crash in a squash. Mater and McQueen continued their journey sticking to the road. They felt shaken after dodging a train. An old car was resting at the bottom of the hill. It was Caroline, the old car. Hello, hello, said Caroline. You must be Lightning Mcqueen and Mater from Radiator Springs. Where are you two off to at this time of day? We're visiting Tuller, said McQueen, only we're going by road instead of the track, where we almost got a strike from that engine Mater saw. That's wee Georgie Wood, said Caroline. He's been working in America for a holiday job. So that's who he is, said Mater. I just remembered. He's the present for Sally. It's a birthday, said McQueen. He visited a town called Whistllington. Boy, you guys have a lot of questions, said Caroline. Why don't you ask him? He can tell you about what he was doing in Whistllington. Mater and McQueen said goodbye to Caroline, then drove off to go through Queenstown. They didn't get far to Tuller when they caught sight of the engine taking a drink. McQueen and Mater came close to have a look. Then they had a gaze on each other. Hello, McQueen, Mater, said wee Georgie Wood. Howdy, wee Georgie, said Mater. A pretty far welcome if you're a country town folk. Then he remembered about seeing him in Whistllington. So you're the one that whistled, and I couldn't make out who you were when the lights were out. What were you doing in it, by the way? Wee Georgie was surprised at the question. Oh, well, I've been getting it some restoration, he said. Like your town radiator springs. I've heard a lot about it back in 2006. Oh, you were to get it running, said McQueen. Mater told me this tale about the cave, and it came true. We found your secret, a pair of buffers you can go through. Those buffers were found for me when I went to England, said wee Georgie. I went in the museum and noticed them planted in the far siding, and the next thing I knew was that I came out this mine. That's the case solved, said Mater. He was giving Whistllington a restoration. And it looks finished when I arrived in it, said McQueen. Anyway, we're visiting Tuller, but will not bother you with your jobs. Goodbye, then. Mater and McQueen went on their way. Boy, another town country folk like me. It's a surprise to us, said Mater. Sally may like to know about him, said McQueen. A perfect present for He cut off his sentence when he caught sight of something blue and yellow just far behind them. Mater, look! They got to be around here somewhere. Why, it's Sally and Cruz. How did they get here? They must have followed our tracks we left in Whistllington. We better make a run for it. McQueen and Mater drove quickly out of Queenstown, frightened out of their wits. They knew she couldn't see them, for the surprise would be spoiled. After a mile, they came to a water bridge. We're almost there, said Mater. Oh, I can't wait to do the surprise for Sally. Whoa! This is a wonderful place to come to, said McQueen. Is there any tractor to tip? Yes, there is. Look, it's Terence tractor taking a rest. Shall you try it? Sir, watch this. Oh! Boy, that was gooey with an orange more gooey. Oh, it's you, Mater. Why did you do that? For fun, Terence. Here, let me put you back up. Thanks. I'm glad I'm not working. That was fun. It sure was. Let's keep moving. At last, they came to Tuller. The line was where the shed was poaching. What shall we do to make a present for Sally? Asked McQueen. We got to draw this town. Say it as well. class Whistllington and introduce her to Georgie Wood, said Mater. And where can we do them? They looked around the village. Aha! There's a secret hiding place. We can go up there to make the drawings, said McQueen. Oh! Mount Farrell. It looks like a great hideout. Let's get Sally surprised. What are we waiting for? Let's get in it. Up they went, creeping slowly and looking at the main road. They know this is a good place for Sally and Cruz to see them. Mater and McQueen came to the top, coming into the quarry. Thomas told Mater that in the area there was a cave where the fillies would hide in. This is where we can do them, McQueen, if you want to surprise your girlfriend and new friend. We'll have to keep quiet, seeing as any hiding place can be less loud. They didn't notice Rex was watching them. As they were about to move into the cave, they saw him. Hello. Who are you? Said McQueen. I'm Rex, and you must be Lightning Mcqueen and Mater. How did you know? Yeah, how did you know? Easy. I've been hearing the radio about your visit to Sorrel. Oh, here comes Georgie. Georgie came up to get a truckload. Hello, Rex. Have you got my coal ready? Yes, I have. The others are putting in the last pile. We'll just go in the cave. Guys, why is there a blue car coming with another car coloured yellow? Said Bert, who came into the quarry. They seem to be wanting something. Blue car and yellow car. Uh-oh, said McQueen. That will be Sally and Cruz. We George's the present, so he has to hide. Not when I'm taking comb, McQueen. It needs to get through. Come on, Mater. In we go. Right behind you, McQueen. Carry on working, guys. No need to watch us. Good timing, Word. The corn truck was safely hidden in the far side of the cave. This was never visited from them for many years since they came to Sorrel. Tiny lights were showing through the walls from the sun as it shone in the sky. They weren't big enough and not blurring their cover. They won't find us here. Now we can make the surprise, said McQueen. Well, hey, look. There's a piece of paper each, said Mater. Plus the colourful pens. Red, yellow, orange, green, blue, purple, brown, black, pink, grey, dark blue, no white. Oh, stop! That's quite a lot, said McQueen, laughing. Well, I'm a fan of junk. and I sometimes like to make a nice mess, said Mater. Anyway, let's draw Whistllington and Tyler. What? Where's the paper? Where's my paper? I must have... Oh, there's mine, and there's yours. I've been wanting to do a drawing for a month. So they began to draw their surprise. Meanwhile, Sally and Cruz were arriving in Tyler. They came to the railway and found wee Georgie, who was taking a drink. Hello, said Sally. We don't often see you after lots of months. I'm wee Georgie Wood, and you must be Sally and Cruz. You must be looking for Mcqueen and Mater. Do you know where they are? Asked Cruz. If you go up to the quarry, they're probably waiting, said wee Georgie. Thank you. Oh, by the way, I'd like to give you this from me. Oh, that's nice. What can it be? Thanks again. Mcqueen and Mater were finished with their drawings. They felt pleased with making presents. Here she comes, Mater, said Mcqueen. We hope she isn't cross, Mcqueen, said Mater. Found you at last, Mcqueen, said Sally. We thought you would wander off from Radiator Springs. What were you doing? Asked Cruz, saying. We've got you these, said Mcqueen. 2 towns, Whistllington and Tyler. Oh, so that's what you were doing, said Sally. We just visited Whistllington an hour ago when your tracks were left behind, and we met wee Georgie Wood, who gave me this present. Wee Georgie restored Whistllington, said Mater. It's got the tourist railway for any car to visit. This is a book I never thought to have. It's called Whistle at the Bridge. There isn't a road in it. Oh, we like to learn his history. So would our home. I say, is it just me, or is it getting dark? Oh, so it is. We'll have to find a place to sleep for the night. Why don't we rest in the car park? There's a cafe we can eat from. The cars rested at the cafe to have a bite to eat. This was a lovely moment for Mcqueen and Sally to talk about their visit in any countries with what was of interest. Sally liked this book. It reminded her of their home. Mcqueen was glad to surprise his girlfriend. We Georgie wanted to give you that book, he muttered quietly to her. Do you think our other friends would like to read it? They certainly will, said Sally. It's reminding me of when I didn't know Australia. Mind you, I had this dream of being in the mountains that's away from here. Ask Mater. He knows about this country. And that mountain over there is the Cradle Mountain. I had the same dream too. Yes, sir. It's like your cafe we all visited, said Mater. V8 Cafe, that's what we call it. Gross, Mater. Oh, dang. Sorry. Guys, I just remembered, said Cruz. There's an engine by the name of Rosie. You know Thomas's friend? Yes, I do. I've seen her when she was red. But she's pink again. We'll go to Sloping Main after we sleep, said McQueen. One can't go on a midnight drive. You guys know the way, said Cruz. I've never timed you to go on drives such as this, but I haven't got my timer. I've got one, said Mater. Whoa! Well, that's a big number. That was delicious. Dang darn it, McQueen! Oops, pardon. They went to sleep. Watching from the track, wee Georgie was grinning, pleased to have new visitors in his railway. The next morning, they went driving to Sloping Main. After one of them noticed Sally eyeing something. What are you looking at, girlfriend? Asked McQueen. I'm looking, said Sally, at another blob of white. It strikes to me as it's Persistent he races. A white blob? Uh-oh, said McQueen. That's Harold. He goes out on his daily patrol. Harold came landing beside them. He was surprised to see new cars in this part of Tasman Sodor. Hello, he said. I thought I saw you driving about. That was a chase we made, said McQueen. Mater and I were driving to get to this village and did a tractor tipping. I put him back up, said Mater. Yep, the fat controller doesn't find out about it. He's with me, said Harold. He checks on anyone, even somebody new. The fat controller climbed down. So you're the cars from Radiator Springs, he said. I have been told from Harold you gave Terence a scare when doing your tractor tipping game. But you made up at least. We'll not do it again, sir. It's my favorite game. That's what we like to show this country." "I see," said the fat controller. "We'll let you live here. Sorrel is what you found." After meeting the fat controller, the car set off. They came to the familiar landscape called Cambridge. It was with a rally that Sarge found for anyone to go off-roading. Sorrel was on the other side of two bridges with an airport, which made remembered about himself involved with an air show. At last, they found a shed to rest in. "It's still the same," said Mater. "I do too," said McQueen. "We did a rally called Introduce when we last time rested here for the night," said Sally. "I won the race," said Cruz. "That was fun," said Lightning. "Say, why don't we go driving to Sloping Main?" said Sally. "I've heard lots about the Seaside." "I beg your pardon, Sally," said Mater, "but did I overhear you saying something of Sloping Main and lots of times?" "What I meant is, it's been told a lot on this website called YouTube," said Sally. "I found a laptop from a computer shop." "Holy moly! I didn't know you would get into computers." "Well, I've been a secretary for years. Anyone has to learn when working." "I'm willing to see it," said McQueen. "Any racing star makes a tour." Uh-oh. 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 Uh-uh. They were about to leave Sorrel when they noticed a police car that was on patrol. McQueen, Mater, Sally and Cruz had some realization hitting them. They collected that they didn't take some passports, some record papers and no cans of fuel. "Do you think we should fill up at the petrol station?" said Mater. "I think so," said McQueen. "We went on long drives that we forgot." "We just hope they understand the officers," said Cruz. "We can't go back when the sun goes down." "Let's make a move," said Sally. "I don't think they should know about the buffers. Let's get refilling." McQueen and his friends drove over to the petrol station. They filled their tanks, then continued on. First, McQueen was on the main road. Then Mater, after his drink, Sally with Cruz were the last to go. When they were together again, they drove away from Sorrel, through the woods, through mountains, and past the shop. The cars were amazed at all the new things. The land and woodland were like their home. To Sally, it was like with McQueen on a lazy drive. After a long drive, they came to a seaside called Dunalley. "Wow, this is ultimately new," said Cruz. "It's a first time for the four of us," said McQueen. "Well, there ain't any tractors to take," said Mater. Is that a fish cafe?" asked Sally. "It looks like a shop." "It sure is," said McQueen. "And look, there's someone visiting it." "Oh, that will be the model writer. I'm a huge fan of his." "He's our fan too." The cars began to continue on when they got their eyes stuck on something coming behind them. Their hearts turned to thumping balls when coming from behind the trees was a police car, a third one that was about to go out on patrol. A third police car was their chief danger, and not one word from them could be given to the officer. They started to flee, driving over the gate bridge and hide running in the other woodland. Their escape succeeded when they managed to reach Tirana. They turned to the right, passing the museum. "Hooray," said Mater. "We found our way to Sloping Main." "Now we might find Rosie," said Cruz. "Just through the trees." At last they came to the seaside. There was the railway with the shed, and there was Rosie resting inside it. "Hello," said McQueen. "You're the first American engine we've ever met." "Hello, McQueen," said Rosie. "I haven't seen you after meeting Thomas with the birthday train, plus when I was cherry red and I'm pink again." "I'm Cruz. I don't think you've met me before." "Of course I haven't. But I've heard McQueen having you as a trainer. Would you like to rest in here? Your journey must have been long." "Yes, please." "Anything to get my radiator cool. Perhaps I'll need some water." "Oh, Mater!" Oops. Sorry. Excuse me, Sally. They gathered together in the shed, talking about their adventures. Rosa said about when she was red, she visited a red rock in the Australian outback. Now it's your turn to tell me about your home, said Rosie. How's Radiator Springs? Oh, it's going fine, said Cruz. McQueen lived in it after Sally broke down, and it took her in. Her motel was great, said McQueen, and Mater showed me a game called Tractor Tipping. We live in Sorrel, said Sally. Mater showed us a book about Wee Georgie Wood. I've got this one from Jean Thorne. It sounds like you guys are in for new things in life, said Rosie. I think you can race in the woods. There's a racing track that can be played on. Oh, goody, said Mater. I might take in flagging. They went to the racing course. McQueen and Cruz were to participate. Ready, set, go, said Mater. Off they went. Look at them go, Sally. They race so great. Yay, this is wonderful, said McQueen. I'm going to beat you, Cruz. Not if I beat you first, McQueen. They finished the race in a tie. Boy, that was fun, McQueen, said Mater. I do like a good race. I do like to race on the racing tracks, said McQueen. But sometimes a rest needs to be made. Want to visit someplace new, McQueen? Asked Sally. Oh, a hangout with you, Sally. Yes, please. Where do you want to go? There's a beach called Roaring. I haven't been there for years. I might tell you when we get there. So they set off. Lightning's in love, lightning's in love, lightning's in love, lightning's in love. I've heard that teasing before, Mater. Well, they are related to each other. Lightning's in love, lightning's in love. That's not forgotten. New Bena's Seaside is a little village, and there was an op shop with things from the past. Just away, there's a dirty road just next to a shop with a petrol station. Sally and McQueen came to the entrance to drive through. They went through all the bushes, past a house, and along the straight part with trees standing beside. McQueen was astonished. Radiator Springs had the same woodland, but this was not the desert. Their land was rocky, and this was grass everywhere. It was also quiet and very hidden too. At last, they came to the end of the car park. "This is the life," said Sally. "A perfect day for date. Oh, I like the cockatoos." "Oh, Sally, this is the best day of our life," said McQueen. "I never thought to come here." "I'm glad I chose this place, McQueen. I've got this tale to tell. Long ago, before you came, I was taking a holiday trip. My ride on a large boat was called the Spirit of Tasmania. It took me to a harbour just next to a building with a car on top of it. That would be the hotel, but I preferred the country, so I drove out of the harbour." "Where did you go to, Sally?" "Well, I went to another town called Kingston and was looking for a place to stay till I met a blue bus who offered to share his shed. His name is Tyler, and he told me about his drive to where we're resting." I was interested to look at it, but when I wanted to go there, I knew it was too far, so I toured a village away from Kingston, and that was Margate. It was nice, but Roaring Beach was never visited from me. I felt in my veins that I wanted to sprinkle water from the drooping trees. That's my liking. It looks like you missed it. Yeah, perhaps I have. Phew. I'm hot after this drive. Mind if you have a Dunkin' with the trees, McQueen? We can share that one." "Sure thing. I'm feeling hot too." So they did. They do like to make their day out a cool one, and a dunk under the tree was one of the events. After that, they stood in a cave. "That was lovely, Sally. You are lucky to have me hang out with you. I like to share this surprise, McQueen. It's fun, and it's got my engine cool." Just as they were enjoying the woodland, Sally and Cruz came up. They were looking very worried. "We've got trouble, McQueen," said Mater. "There's a criminal car that's been storming the roads." He's got some hatred on us, claiming he wants to be the best than you." "Who is he?" asked McQueen. "Greco McTwain. He noticed us in the rally at Cambridge, not pleased he is, and just wanted us off the island." "No one told us about him," said Cruz. "He's going to hunt us down so as to knock us off our wheels." "That's a beggar car," said McQueen. "I haven't seen him since our first visit." "What shall we do?" asked Sally. "We'll have to lure him to this cave," said McQueen. "If he wants us off our wheels, he won't make it. Let's get cracking then." The Carson truck made a door with their fake selves painted on it. "This is the perfect trap to stop him bullying us," said McQueen. "Now we'll get him off his wheels." "Let's hide behind that tree," said Sally. "I can hear him coming." Quickly, they got out of sight. They hid behind the bushes, peeping out carefully. The beggar car came driving into sight. He saw McQueen and Sally in the cave. What tempers he had, grudging against a good racing car. "He's falling for it," whispered Sally. And he did. Greco drove really fast, heading for his targets. "I'll soon have you scrapped for sure," he said. But he went into the cave, and instead of hitting the two cars, felt himself hitting a rock. His engine was dead. So Major towed him out. "I've got the little runt, guys." They took him to the police station where the officers were waiting. "We've been on the lookout for him," they said. "He's been a wicked car for months." McQueen and his friends headed back to Sloping Main, tired from their visiting adventure. "Phew! I'm glad this visit went well," said McQueen. "I reckon we should head back to Radiator Springs." "Rosie said to us there was a tunnel of adventures," said Sally. "It makes a perfect shortcut." "No more driving back to the harbour," said Major. "Our exit's a very long way." "Next time we'll bring our record papers," said Cruz. "Why do we bother to take our passports? Secret tunnels are our key to getting anywhere." They arrived in Sloping Main and found the tunnel of adventures waiting for them. "Aha! So this is our shortcut," said Major. "I did say no more driving back to the harbour." The cars went through the tunnel and, as they expected, found they were back in the town of Whistllington. They went all the way home to Radiator Springs and rested in their houses. Home sweet home, said McQueen. I liked the adventure we made. I could do with a drink after lots of driving, said Sally. Aha! Shall we rest on that hill I showed you the other day? Of course, Sally. We might find a place to look at that YouTube channel from your laptop. Good idea. It's like the movie in the car park. We want to see it too, said Major. Cruz may like a tour of that big cafe. I'd like to see it. It's so new to me, said Cruz. So they went up to the cafe. There, they looked at their video. One was Tayo, the little bus, the model version. The other was The Adventures of Rosie. And the third was My Little Pony, Postman Pat. You know, Sally, said McQueen, I've been thinking. We have the same stories of when we broke down here. Radiator Springs is a lovely place to live in. Look at the cafe. It's lovely to hang out in, and the food's great. Oh, they have the same oil burgers. Adventures can be full of surprises, McQueen, said Sally. It would be nice if we visit that red rock. It's nice and red as your colour. Oh, thanks. I knew that was coming. Lightning's in love. The program's going to start. Oh, it's My Little Pony, Postman Pat. I wonder what he's up to in Equestria. After the day was through, the cars went home to their houses. It had been a lot of driving. They never forgot their visit to Tasman's Road Hall. McQueen and Sally said good night to each other, then slept.
If you're on a highway road, not a go sleep deep. Just step aside or you might end up in the heat. Road runner runs on the road all day. Even coyote can't make him change his ways. Road runner, the coyote's after you. Road runner, if he catches you, he's through. Road runner, the coyote's after you. Road runner, if he catches you, he's through. That coyote is really a crazy clown. When can he learn he never takes him down? Poor little road runner never bothers anyone. Running on the road is his idea of having fun. Do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. Be kind to your friends from the swamp, where the weather is cold and damp. Be kind to your friends at the pond, for that goose may be some bird's brother. Be kind to the frogs and those with the fins, so they want you to come back again. kind to your friends from the swamp, where the weather is cold and damp. Be kind to your friends at the pond, for the goose may be some birds brother. Be kind to the frogs and birds with the fins, so they'll want you to come back again. Be kind to your web-footed friends, for a duck may be somebody's mother. Be kind to your friends from the swamp, where the weather